Hi everybody, welcome to Fun Size Film 9. Films 9, 10, and 11 are going to be familiar territory for all of you because you take photographs and you take video on your phone on a regular basis. So hopefully these will be mercifully quick for you. That old expression about a picture being worth 1,000 words is really true, particularly when you are working with young children. And as you can see, Brionna is very, very intent on focusing on her teacher and engaging in morning circle. She's actually kind of like scooped up off her bottom because she wants to make sure that she can see everything, and this illustrates the way that a child's intent and character can come through in a photo. So there are really two main differences between a regular old photograph and a learning photograph. The first is that a learning photo shows the student involved in working or learning, and that's why it's a learning photograph. So we need to be really careful to focus on the learning aspect of the photo and not on how much we love our students or how cute and fabulous they are. So the first difference is that a learning photograph is documenting learning. The second difference between a regular photo and a learning photo is that a learning photo always is accompanied by documentation. I'm sure you're getting accustomed to hearing me say this, but it's really, really important. You have to include the student name, the date, the description of what is going on, and what the photo reveals about the student as a learner. Because without that documentation, the photo is going to be just a photo. And we take photos so freely because we have easy access to doing them. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I go back through my camera roll and I wonder what on earth I was taking a picture of that for. And the documentation is a way to avoid that kind of what was I thinking moment. I love learning photos. They're really easy to do, to take, and to use, and they're very powerful. We're all accustomed to taking pictures, so it doesn't feel weird or like any kind of major effort. It's not particularly distracting for the child who is being photographed, and when we have access to smartphones and digital cameras and printers and all that, they're inexpensive and quick and easy. These 3 photos were submitted to me by a student teacher with this one cover sheet that describes a lot about this pre-kindergarten student named Asia. Please take a look and then move on when you're ready. Although I refer to these as learning photos, they're actually also really good at documenting times and situations when learning is not happening. So for example, if you have a student in your class whose behavior disrupts learning and takes away instructional time, you can definitely document that behavior with a learning photograph. And even though you're capturing the child when he's not engaged in learning, the photo serves as evidence that this sort of thing happens and that it's compromising the child's learning as well as the learning of the whole class. And these are particularly helpful, these learning photos and learning videos of inappropriate behavior in a parent conference, because sometimes parents can't believe that their precious princess or their precious prince would ever be disruptive in class, but when they're confronted with evidence, then they have no choice but to believe you. What you see here is a pair of not learning photos of a student named Scott and the cover sheet that was completed to go along with it. And in case you are wondering what my scribble says there, I comment on the student's work, she assumed that the student wasn't learning just because he was not sitting crisscross applesauce with his hands in his lap. And I would have recommended that she check in with Scott and perhaps ask him questions about some of the things that happened during that circle time to see if he was learning or not. Because if he was on top of the content and was very aware of what had been going on, then the issue was just that he was not sitting properly. So that's when talking, it's another example of when talking to the student to get more info is really important. So you'll have lots of opportunity to work with learning photos in class, and I am looking forward to sharing more learning photos with you.